morning, everyone. Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to Sip and Stitch. I'm so excited to be back. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Carly Bell, and I love to get together with y'all, usually on a Friday morning, to do an machine embroidery project from start to finish that we call Sip and Stitch. So, welcome if you're new here. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I have been on a summer hiatus, so it's been a while since I've been with you guys. I'm very excited to be back in my craft room and starting a new project and playing with a new machine. So I'm really excited. So let me take a minute to say hi to everyone. Hi, Stephanie and Trisha and Earlene and Cindy and Cynthia. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I hope y'all have all been having a great summer. This was my first summer being home with my girls, which was amazing. So we did a lot of fun activities. We went on some vacations um, and just doing all the things to get ready for school. They're finally back in school now. So I am trying to get back into my routine of working in here and sharing things with y'all. So really, really fun summer. I still have some things I need to share with y'all because I went to the San Antonio area and I visited a quilt shop there. So I have a whole blog post that I'm gonna write up and tell y'all about it. It was really, really fun. I got all kind of good goodies from that quilt shop that I'm gonna share in the blog post. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already on my email newsletter, it's free. I just send an email once a week, kind of telling you all the things that are going on with projects that I'm making or videos, tutorials I'm doing. And so that kind of info would be in the newsletter. So there's a link down below to sign up for that email newsletter if you're not already on it. So that is going to be coming soon. I also have a big announcement for today of something new that I'm sharing with y'all. Let me back up and tell you, I went to the Applique Getaway in July in Dallas, Texas, and it was amazing. It was my second time attending the event. It's an in-person embroidery convention. And it was my second time attending, but my first time teaching and having a booth and everything. So that was really, really fun. So if I saw you at the Applique Getaway, thanks so much for coming to tell me hi. I appreciate it. But those that did attend in person got a preview of what I'm going to share with y'all starting today. And that is something new, something I've been working on behind the scenes for a while. And it fills my organization passion that I have. So I have my crafting that I love, but I'm also really trying always to be more organized. And one of the questions that I get a lot when it comes to all of the embroidery designs that I've collected over the years is, how do you store them? How do you organize them? So I came up with something to share with all of y'all. So it's a system I developed, and it's very simple. It's just an embroidery design organizer, and I made it so that it fills, I think, both kinds of people. And I'm actually both kinds. I'm a pen and paper person. I like my paper planner, but I'm also a digital person. I like using my computer. I like having all my things organized on my computer as well. So I have developed a way for us to better organize our embroidery files, and it involves both things. So here is just kind of um, a preview of what it looks like. So as I said, it comes with two components. It comes with a computer portion, which everyone is going to need to use, and that's going to be a filed folder organization system. And this is a system already built out. You just download it and put it on your computer, and it has all the categories of embroidery designs that I could think of that are out there to help you, or put your files in specific folders so that they are easier to find later. So that's going to be great. Everyone is going to need to use that. Then I have a kind of printable pack. It's got 20 different pages that you can print out at home, and you can print as many as you want. And there's all kinds of good stuff in there. And I'm going to show you my binder in a second that I made. So I've done this in the past, like I like to make a binder to see a printout of the designs that I have. And especially when I was like showing friends or customers options that I have for them when they want me to make them something, having a binder really, really, really helpful. So wait, I lost my spot. This is, some of the pages for you to make your binder. So not only can you make yourself catalog, but I also have planning pages in there. I have weekly, monthly, yearly, and then project planners and lists and charts and all kinds of fun stuff. So really excited about this. I am implementing it all myself. Oh, I forgot so that was the planner part. Then the digital part, for those of you that are a little bit tech savvy, I have a system where I use kind of like a spreadsheet, but it's a really cool spreadsheet that I keep all of my digital files in and have a database. So that is the third portion of the design organizing system, is that you get a digital database template where you can go and put in your information, and then with a click of a button you can see all of the design. So like say I'm going to make some birthday presents or a baby shower. I got a baby shower to go to tomorrow. I need to make things for I can, with the click of my button on my computer, see all of my new baby embroidery designs that I have on my computer. Everything that I entered in the database, it makes it to where you could search and filter and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to tell you more about it later, but I just was really excited to tell you when it first started. But let's see, I wanted to do something. So if you're interested in this, I have a link down below, and then what did I do? I'm trying to make it to where I could put the website at the bottom. Okay. Let's see if that works. So this is the website. I know that's long. You can just click it below the video, but that's going to take you to the page that's going to give you a lot more information on the organizing system and if you want to purchase it. So that was my big announcement for today. So yeah, I hope so Sherry said this sounds like it will be so helpful. It really is. I've been using it and implementing it myself for the past few months, and I love things to be nice and organized, and it makes me very happy. So good morning, everyone. All right, so I'm gonna leave that up. Oh, Kathy said, would you organize first and then back up? So that's something I go over so when you get it, you get some video tutorials and things too, talking about how I organize it. Like, just breaking down the basics of, okay, you bought an embroidery file. Now what do you do with it? To unzipping it, to how it's named and all the files that come with it, and the best methods of storing. So I go over all of that in the video tutorials that are included with it, and go over your options of external hard drives on your computer, cloud systems, all of that kinds of stuff. So all of that I go over as well. All right. Christy says, well, I have a link on my website too. Yes, I need to do that. Thank you for reminding me. Y'all know I'm never completely put together. But yeah, I will update my homepage of my website, and I will put it on there too for y'all. Okay, so let's see, I'm checking all the things. So yay. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do today. So today we are going to stitch a baseball hat. And we've done baseball hats a couple times now over the years here on Sip and Stitch. And one of the first ones we did was, actually, let me get it. I think it's right here. We stitched a baseball hat on a flatbed my PE 770. This was one of the first projects we did before I got any of my other machines. I just had my basic little PE 770, and we stitched this hat on there. So I have a tutorial for you on how to stitch a soft, see this one's soft, a baseball hat on a flatbed machine. And it involves using a product that my good friend Carol makes. And they have the information. I have a blog post, I think, linked down below to bring you to that, to tell you everything about it, because it is a totally different process of stitching a baseball hat on a flatbed machine versus stitching a baseball hat on a multi-needle machine or free arm machine. But that, I think, is one of the perks of getting a machine like this, is the capability to stitch hats that are not soft like this one is. And when you load the hat on the machine, it keeps the shape of the hat. So then you can do the more structured trucker type hats and baseball hats. You can do those on a machine like this, where I could not do this on my flatbed. But I wanted to tell you, you can make hats on both types of machines. It just, you're limited to the softer, non-structured hats on your flatbed machine. And so we've done that in the past. We've also made hats on my Persona before, my single needle free arm machine. So it still has the look of a multi-needle, but it's a single needle. And I'm so excited. Brother came out with an upgraded model this week, and it looks super nice. And when I knew an upgraded model was coming, but I was like, there's not too much they can do to upgrade it. Like, it's a really nice machine. The only thing my Persona doesn't have that the newer machines in general for Brother is wireless. So I'm like, it's probably just going to add wireless and maybe like new designs and stuff like that. No, they really improved it, because now my model that I have, the largest embroidery field is 8x8. The new model is 8x12. So now it has just as big of a hoop as my 6 needle and my 10 needle machine. So that, props to Brother, was a really big improvement, because I know the Persona is an awesome machine, but when it came to wanting to do some projects that were 6x10, I couldn't do them on there because the biggest hoop size was 8x8. So if you're looking to upgrade machines, I think they still have the old Persona, and they discounted it like tremendously. I want to say it's like $399, $3,999 now, where it used to be close to $5,000. So they've discounted it, but I don't know how many they have left, because the new models are coming in, and they're going to be slightly more expensive, which I expected, but they're a little bit more, but still worth it now that you get the 8x12 hoop. But that was really big deal. So sorry, sidetracked on that. We've made hats on the Persona, the single needle free arm machine, and that is like pretty much the same setup as this. But today I'm showing you how to make a hat on a multi-needle machine. And so we're going to go into what the cap driver is, what that looks like. It was very intimidating to me the first time I got it and I played with it. I'm like, I'm going to mess this up. This is way too many screws and metal things that I have to move. Like, I was very nervous. I was going to break my machine. I'm here to tell you today, it's not as hard as it looks. And once you go through the motions of the first time, you're not going to have a problem setting up your machine to stitch hats. So we are going to do that. I do need to, it's going to take me a second. I'm going to hook up my phone to my computer where we can use the camera on my phone, because some of the things I'm going to show you, I can't get close enough to really, because like we got to look at things like under here. So when I can get my phone, I might get you a little car sick because I'm not the best camera person, but we're going to get in there so that you could actually see where the screws go and all that kinds of stuff, and where things need to click. But that's what we're doing today. We're stitching a hat, and this is the hat we're stitching. My husband has been building a boat for, how long ago did he buy that boat? Was it 3 years? 2 to 3 years maybe. Now my dad's a fisherman. We grew up on the bayou and fishing my whole life, and my dad can build boats. And my dad convinced my husband to buy a boat with a hole in the bottom of it, and they were going to patch it up and fix it. So they've been doing that for a long time. So he literally got like a completely bare boat. They fixed the bottom of it. So all of that is fixed. And then he's been doing all the electrical things and motor things and GPS things. I don't know, all these things. That he finally got it done. Yay. So now I can go on his boat and wear this. So it's boat hair, don't care. I got the design from Bella Bleu Embroidery, and it's spelled, let me put it on here for you. How do I hide this? Okay. So it's Bella Bleu, and blue spelled a little different. All right. And let me so she gave us a coupon code, and I sent it out to everyone, but she had like the and symbol, that I think it's an ampersand, in it, and people kept texting me and it wasn't working. The computer does not like that symbol to be used as a coupon. We learned that today. So she changed the coupon code. So now it's just sip and stitch. No, sip stitch. I'm typing it up here to put on the computer for you. Sorry, my camera blinked. Sip stitch. Now that is going to give you 40% off just this design. If you like this one and you want to go get it, you can get 40% off of this one. Okay. However, if you're not interested in this one and you want to get something else, she gave me another code, SS2, for 20% off all her other designs that are not like on sale already, bundles, and she has like dollar designs. That code will work for just about anything else, all the other designs. So let me put this up on the bottom of the screen for you so you could see it. Let's see if that works. All right. So Bella Bleu Embroidery is the name of the designer and the shop and everything. And Sip Stitch will get you 40% off the boat hair. And then SS2 will get you 20% off just about anything else. They got a few exclusions. So if it doesn't work, that's why it's one of those things are excluded. One of the reasons why I love the hat designs at Bella Bleu Embroidery is they are digitized to be stitched onto a hat, which we haven't really gone over here before for Sip and Stitch. So let's talk about it. Now, with all the other hats I made a monogram hat, I made a Hoodette hat. These were just like with the fonts on the persona I'd made. My husband's on a dance troupe for Mardi Gras. So I just made that on my computer and then uploaded it to the machine. We've done, designs we've purchased or designs we've put together ourselves in Embroiance and stitched it. What is different about what we're going to do today versus things I've done in the past is typically when we're stitching something, depending on the order of it and how it works, but like this one, for instance, the Hoodette hat, I use the fonts on the machine and just put it, and that was it. So when the machine started stitching, it started at the W and did the H and did the O and D and A and T. So it's going from, what's that, left to right? It's going from one side to the other because that is just how, the machine is programmed to stitch those letters, going across. Same thing with Embroiance. If you're using a BX font and I just type Carly, it's going to start stitching with the K, and the last thing it's going to stitch is the E. So it's going to go across. When you're stitching on a hat, it is better and preferred to start stitching in the middle of the hat and then work your way out. So when a design is specifically digitized for a hat, that is what changes. It's going to start stitching in the middle and then go off to the side. So that is what I see with all of the hat designs from Bella Bleu Embroidery. So it was really happy about that and excited to share them with you. So let's get started. Now, I bought 2 hats. I got these from Amazon because normally I get my hats at Walmart, but all the Walmart hats are soft, and I wanted to try a more structured hat, not the soft hat, since using the cap frame allows us to do that. I like these hats. I showed them to my husband. He was like, I don't like these hats. He's very particular, but I think they're fine. They're not super structured. Like I could still push on them and stuff. And when it was stitching, because it can get pushed on, it kind of, you'll see when we start stitching. There was a time where I had to kind of smooth it out before it moved on to the next step. So I can't vouch for these hats being the best quality, but they were only $8. And I think they're good enough for me. But if you're looking for more quality hats, we'll have to get a recommendation from somebody that has something better. And I think Terry Osborne, that's a member of our group. I think she stitches a lot of hats with her Baby Lock 6 needle. She can maybe give us a recommendation of some good quality hats. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments. So Kim said, I've been stitching out designs I purchased that are already digitized. My machine is not stitching them out as well as I think it should be. Do I have to digitize it or make adjustments? So lots of things can happen when stitching out. So Kim, are you talking about hat design specifically? Second question, where are you buying the digitized designs? Are you buying them just from like an online shop? Are you buying them from Etsy? Or are you paying someone to digitize them for you? And then depending on what you're stitching, I want to know what stabilizer you're using. All of those things can result in something not stitching out well. So there's lots of avenues that we can go with answering that question. So give me some more information and then we'll get back to it, okay? Here we go. There's Terry. I'm really happy to find someone that sells hat designs. Yes. All right. So Bella Bleu and then S&S Activewear. We need to check them out. That's where Terry recommends we look for some hats. All right. Thank you, Terry. I should have called you before I ordered these on Amazon, but y'all know I did this like a few days ago because I am not good at planning ahead. Well, I plan ahead, but I don't act ahead, prepare. All right. So Crystal X, have we ever done puffy stitch? And we have tried it on hats. We have done puffy stitch. The last sip and stitch we did, we tried a puffy stitch because Creative Appliques makes a 3D foam font. And we did the sip and stitch on it, but it did not go well because and we're going to go over this because I learned my lesson. One of my screws came loose while it was stitching and fell. And that caused the design to shift. And so the end product for that sip and stitch did not look good, but I went back and re-stitched it after and it came out good. I don't know where that hat is though, but we've done that. Yes. If you look back at my old sip and stitches. Okay. Yeah. Terry says S&S Activewear, great place to get your hats. Wholesale. All right. I'm going to go look at that. All right. Kim, we got more answers. Buying them offline, stitching practice fabric, usually tear away. Okay. Pretty much for cotton woven, t-shirt material, all those things, you're not going to want to just use tear away. You need more stabilizer. So that is probably the main factor on why things are not looking good. So better stabilize your fabric. I really like using a fusible stabilizer on the back of fabric because it really helps it from shifting and puckering. But I usually, with all my fabrics, whether it's t-shirt materials or even like cotton woven, quilting cotton, I will iron on a layer of poly mesh cutaway stabilizer or no-show mesh stabilizer. And then I'll also add a layer of tearaway, whether I iron on some tearaway, floated on some tearaway, floated on sticky tearaway. There's lots of options there. I have a whole post on stabilizers on my blog if you're interested in that. And then I really deep dive teach it in my beginner machine embroidery course called From Start to Stitch. So if you're interested, that info is on my website. All right. Okay, so, and then I saw someone ask for hats. So stabilizer for hats, we're going to use tearaway, and we're going to get into that now. So now that we've talked about the hats, we've talked about the designs, now let's talk about the cap driver and how all of that setup is, and hooping the hat. So when you purchase a free arm or multi-needle machine, sometimes, I think now they actually have a really good deal where it comes with the cap driver accessory. If it doesn't come with it, you're looking at roughly $1,000 to $1,200. It is a pretty penny. However, if you are interested in stitching hats and selling hats, hats are your best money maker. They have the largest profit margin. So let's ask Terry. Terry, how much are you paying for your wholesale hats from S&S Activewear? I want to say I've seen hats, less than $5. Let's start at the $5 mark, like $5 or less. Sometimes like probably as low as $2. So if you're getting a hat, for between $2 to $5, and all you need is one little piece of tearaway stabilizer, and then you can turn around and sell this hat for $25 to $30. That is a very, very nice profit margin. So it is a investment to get the cap driver, but you make and sell hats, you will earn that money back, and it's very, very nice. So Terry's saying $4 to $5. Yeah. Yay. Okay. So cap driver. Now, when you get the cap driver, it consists of 3 parts. The part that goes on your machine, a hat hooping station, and then what is the hat hoop, or they call it the cap ring. So this is the part that actually goes inside hat, and then this allows you to hook it up to here. So this is freestanding. This you can actually clamp to your table or the side of your machine. This is just going to help you get your hat hooped. It's a hooping station. All right. So those are the 3 parts. You also will notice, now I don't remember if this comes with the machine or this comes with the cap driver setup. You'll also get this little black plastic piece, and this is a needle plate cover. So that's going to go on there. And then I would say it also came with this black little rubber piece. You might see this box as well. And this is to protect your table. So if I'm clamping this on my craft table, I can put this to protect the clamp from scuffing my table or whatever it might be. So that's what this little piece is for. All right, I think that's everything that's in the box. So now let's talk about actually hooping the hat. All the hats I've stitched, I've done with just 1 layer of tearaway stabilizer. And you can get your stabilizer and cut it in strips, and something like this. This is probably way more than enough. All right, so a strip of stabilizer, and that is going to go, and with the hooping station, it's going to allow you to put that strip of tearaway inside the hat, so it's in there while it's hooped. Okay, let's see now. Let me I'm trying to, okay, copy this. I'm see if I could text this to myself. And then I could use my phone as a camera. And hopefully it's easy to turn off and on. Okay. Mute. Let's do back camera. There we go. Hey, this is cool. Okay, and this is going to be all right. Oh, turn that off. Okay, hopefully I got a little bit back up. Okay, I still got a little bit of background noise. All right, so I already had my cap driver on the machine. Let me switch you to here. Okay, so y'all should be able to see the machine. So this is what it looks with the cap driver on it. Let's see. I'm looking at the comments here. Patty's like, I have it, but I'm scared to use it. Yeah, I know how you feel. This is what it looks like when it's already on. I apologize. I should have had the frame holder on there. So let me switch it back so you could see that process. And I also want to show you the, probably blocking everything. So with the Brother frame holder and cap driver, all that stuff, they have these really nice gray thumb screws. So they're really easy to handle. And that's what I didn't have tight enough for a previous project that fell. All right. I think I need to take this off. There we go. All right. That is off. Let me put this back together how it was. All right. Now, normally this would be on here like this. And two of these thumb screws would be here. So I'm barely going to put them in just so you can see where they would be. Now, okay. Let's see if this works. Hey, look at that, two things. All right, so normally you have a thumb screw here. So this is your frame holder. You have a thumb screw here, and you have a thumb screw here, and you have one here. I leave this one alone. You want to unscrew this one and this one so that you could take them off. Sorry, put that down. And then this just comes right off. So that's step number one. All right. Once you have that off, you are going to have your cap driver. When you take it out of the box and when you're storing it, you should have two thumb screws right here. In order to get this on the machine, you have to remove these two. But you also have to be careful because these is on a like cable. So once I unscrew this, this is going to become a lot more wobbly and it can actually turn. And that's how the whole system works. So what I do is I hold it here. Unscrew these. So you've got a total of 4 screws. You got the 2 you took out of your frame holder. And now we got the 2 we took out the top of here. So those are out. But if you see, this became a lot more wobbly. Now you just slide it underneath the needle. And now let me get the other camera so you can see right where it goes. And sorry, I just realized y'all can't hear me when I have just this camera. Wait. So hopefully you can hear me now. All right. What I was saying was those screws were here, and now they go next to the peg. So you should have a screw, peg, screw, peg. I messed up with the first one. So originally those screws were here, and we unscrewed them, and now we're putting them next to the peg. Does that make sense? Still no sound? Lost your audio when you go to the phone. Let's see. What about now? Oh, yeah. I'm scared to mess it up. Okay. So did y'all hear everything I said about you got a screw, then a peg, screw, then a peg? Oh, that's good. So those were the two that were on there. Now I have the two that was on the frame holder. Those are going to go underneath. So let's get an underneath look. I think right here. And you might have to play with it a little bit so that it actually goes. There we go. You see a screw under there? This is the one that came undone for me once, so do make sure it's snug. Never can get this one. Sorry if I'm not holding the phone well. And sometimes it's better if you have two hands, which I'm going to do. Let me put this down. It doesn't want to. Am I turning it the wrong way? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Sorry, this is taking me a minute, guys. It's not usually this difficult, but you know, because I'm live, it's automatically going to be more difficult. There we go. Screw just did not want to catch. Okay, so can you see that screw? So you have 2 underneath and 2 on top. So they're like this. And then make sure that they are tight. Oh, the back of my head does not look good. I need to get my hair done. Okay. So how is that? One of those days, yes. Okay. Any questions on getting the cap driver on there? Let me know what y'all think about that part. All right. Now I'm going to put my hooping station here. And let me see if my other camera sees this. Somebody asked me, is this the same process that I do on the Ricoma? To be honest, it's been so long since I played with the hat driver on my Ricoma. It is similar, but a little different. There's a much wider bar for the Ricoma, but I need to do a video on that soon. So hopefully I can get that done soon to show you. But we need to do a hat on there too. But the process is basically similar. You're going to put the cap driver on and hoop the hat and put the hat on. All right. Do you have to calibrate the driver? I have not had to, but there are instructions in the booklet that came with the cap driver in case you do need to. And I'm sure Brother has some on their website as well. Okay. You can't see the hat, that there, so let me put this here and then, all right, now this is the hooping station and the cap ring. I wonder if I turn my phone, is that better? There we go, that's better. All right, so hooping station, cap ring. When you start, you want the cap ring to be open and the hooping station, they have this bar. Woo! Again, hard to do with one hand. There we go. All right. Okay. Cap ring open, hooping station. You'll notice they have these little white rolly balls and they have a little notch in the cap ring. You're going to push this to where those rolly balls go in here. All right, again, this is hard to do with one hand. They have like nice places where you could put your thumb and put pressure on the back end. So you go and push that. Again, this is not on right. There we go. And okay. There we go. Now those little balls are in there. I moved the cap ring, but you see, now you know you got it in place. And those little rolly wheels, the same as on the driver. So the ring is going to go on the driver the same way it goes onto the hooping station. So now we are going to put our stabilizer there and get our hat. With the hat, let's see, I got an idea. Give me a second. I have a little tripod thing for my phone. Let's see if that works. But with the hat, you want to open it up. They had something on the inside. Take that out. This is the sweatband. You want to pull that okay? And that is going to be, so when we put it on the cap ring, I'm going to be holding it like this with the sweatband pulled out and sliding it onto the cap ring. Let's see if I can give you something better. All right. Any questions while I'm trying to do this? Linda's like, so glad it's slow at work so I can watch this. Oops. Okay. Okay, I think this would be better. All right, so you're seeing the cap ring and the stabilizer. I already showed you how I'm holding my hat. And with the sweatband out. Now, can you see how the sweatband is out and I slide it forward? I want that sweatband to go underneath that little bar. And you notice that little red line? I want that to line up with the seam of the hat. So there you go. All right. Doing that as far forward as I can. Now, the next step is taking the ring and putting that in between the bill of the hat. Now, some cap rings are different than others. My brother one, it goes on both sides. My Ricoma one only goes here. So it depends on what kind of system you have, but the brother one should come forward. I still am trying to push this hat as far forward as I can. And this little line of the cap ring, I want it to really grab right in the seam between the bill and where the hat actually starts going up. So I'm going to push it like this. All right. And again, trying to make sure my center seam is all where it's supposed to be. Then there's a part down here. Let's see. It like clips like what like some of my sugar and flour jars do. Let me clip it and then show you. It goes down and around, and then I lift this up. And when I do that, the and you pull it forward like that. So can you see that? So it went around here, and then you pulled this back up, and now the cap ring is going. I want it especially close here, and then as close as I can here. All right. Then you pull the bill, and this piece comes down like that. And with my softer hats, this wasn't as much of a problem, but this harder hat's a little bit harder. And then the last step is you really want to pull this down like this, and then they got some little binder clips that go here. Oh, that was something I forgot told you was included in the package with everything. So all right, now your hat is hooped. And I just push these little pieces and it comes away. So that is it, hooped. You'll see over here, hooped hat. Right. Now we have to put it onto the driver. Let's see if we can get a good angle of this a little closer. Now I need to have my little black needle plate piece here. When you put the hat on, you got to put it on sideways. Actually, let's see. No, no, I'm always picking the wrong thing. Okay, y'all can see my screen. I uploaded the design. I do find it's a little bit large for my hat, so I'm going to reduce it just by hitting size and like squish it all in as much as it lets me go. And that's it. It's just like 3 or 4 clicks. Okay. End edit. Once that's done, you saw how this moved? That makes it a bit of a difference so that you can get the hat on. But we're going to go this way. No, actually, I think it needs to be, let's go back to the home screen. It needs to be further back. Okay, on sideways and then turn. Once it's on, then you do the same thing where you push it. And let me show you how I'm holding. You see they have this part here and this part here. We want that to go in. All right, and I'm just pushed it in, so now I can see they have 3 spots that it actually clips here. There's one here and here, just like on the hat hoop station, but they also have one under here. You want to make sure that one is in the right spot as well. So now everything is done and ready to stitch. Let's see, Terry said I taped that little needle plate to the arm when I do hats. One time I found it stitched inside the hat. Oh no. Yeah, Patty said that. So the little needle plate. Do I have another one? It was like a little black piece. It just sits perfectly on top the needle plate. Oh, here, do have another one. It looks like this. And it has 2 little pegs, and it just sits right on top the needle plate. Okay. Now, let me reload the design. Here. When you put the cap driver on, the machine knows. Let me turn this off now because it's distracting. Okay. The machine knows that the cap driver is on. It knows you took the regular frame holder on, and it knows you have the cap driver on. So it's going to accommodate only size designs that could fit on its hat, on the cap driver that it can stitch. I want to say it's as tall as 2.4, 2.5, and as wide as 5 inches. That is the embroidery field for a hat. So I picked my design. Like I said, I found when I traced it, the design was a bit large. So when I stitched it on this hat, that was after shrinking it. So I just went to size and reduced the sizes until the machine tells me it can't do it anymore. Then I hit OK and edit. It will automatically turn the design upside down for you because think about the way that it's stitching. It needs to stitch upside down. So it's going to do that for you. One really nice thing upgraded from the Persona with doing hats on my 6 needle brother is that you do get the laser crosshairs when you're setting up your hat. On the Persona, the laser goes away when you put the hat hoop on. So that's really nice. So I can see, let me switch you, my hat, and I could see my crosshair is a smidge over. So I need to move it to where it's in the middle. I also can move my design as low as it could possibly go because I want the design to stitch close to the bill as it can. So I did that. So I just pressed the button. It's the up arrow on the screen, but it's actually moving it down towards the bill. So now I can see my design is centered and as low as it can possibly go. I do need to tell let me go back here. I have colors on here, but I don't have my machine really knowing what color is what. So I'm going to tell the machine what color I want for each step. So for this one, and it looks like a little thread with a magnifying glass. So for step number 1 is boat hair. I'm going to do that in blue, which is needle number 2. The next step is don't. I'm going to do that in pink, which is needle number 6. The next step is care. I'm going to do that in blue as well. You could do it in multiple colors if you wanted to, but I'm just going to keep that blue. That's needle number 2. And then the last is the anchor. Since this is a gray hat, I'm going to do the anchor in yellow. So that's needle number 3. I had a silver for my black hat. So I think that will be good. So I'm going to hit OK. So now it knows which needle to stitch for each step. And because this is just an all thread design and no applique, no stopping that we need to do, we can just set it and let it go. I am going to watch it though, because like I said, because this hat is still a little bit bendy, I was scared a wrinkle was going to happen. So now I'm going to hit lock and go. And it's going to start. Oh, it became unthreaded. All right. So I watched it as it went down, the thread came out of the needle. So there is a button down here that looks like 2 needles and a hoop. I press that. It's on needle number 2. I can see it here. Let me get my tweezers. Let me go behind that needle bar. Okay, press the needle threader button. Okay, now it's rethreaded. Okay, and let me go the needle plus minus button and start over because it missed just a couple stitches, but I don't want to miss those. Okay, let's try this again. Lock and go. All right, now it's going to start stitching. Like I said, this design is going to start with, it came unthreaded again. Why you don't like me? Because I'm on live? I'm on the camera now? Now it doesn't like me. All right, let me make sure everything is threaded correctly because you know, even the simplest little not being in the right under the little, what do you call those? The tension gauges. Here we go. These little pieces here, if they're not under there perfectly, it can give you trouble. Okay, threaded. Okay. No, it's off. It's stitching in a whole different step now. Oh, welcome back, Carly. I'm not doing sip and stitch for 2 months. Nope. I'm trying. Hold on. Yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Trimming sensor error. Fun stuff. All right, I'm going to take the hat hoop off. Turn my hat. Yeah, it's got some thread stuck down in here. So this is why we do lives, so that you can see when things go wrong. All right, I had some thread stuck around the bobbin case. Lovely. All up in there. I'm going to turn. I turned it like I'm oiling it so that it would turn and I can get the thread out of here. All right, let's There we go. That's what. Get all that thread out of there. There's still some more going through the needle plate. There we go. Got that all clean. Looks good now. Put the bobbin back in. Got a little tail. It's still threaded, so that's good. Now, I'm gonna hit OK and load my hat back on. Make sure everything is snapped good. Good. Now I'm gonna back up to the beginning of the design. Okay, everything looks centered. Oh wait, I forgot to put the needle plate back on. Let's see if I can get it. I can't. There we go. All right, we're gonna get this eventually. Putting the needle plate back on because I took it off to clean it. I got some thread in this hat too. Let me get out of there. Cause no problems. Okay. All right, everything is on there. Okay, it is now at the beginning. And everything looks good now. Let's try again. Lock and go. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Okay, my tail was a bit long. I'm going to pause it really quickly and get rid of this tail before it gets all sucked into something that we don't, and it's not going to look good. So, finally stitching. All right, I have my machine slowed down. Normally, I think you can stitch hats at 600 stitches per minute. I have it set at 400 because when I was doing my other hat, I used a metallic thread, and so I slowed it down even more. Let's see. I'm just watching it stitch. Okay, so it is stitching the T in boat first, and then it's going to work its way from the middle to the left, and the middle to the left, and then it's going to, and then go from the middle to the right. So that's one of the great things about the way that this particular design is digitized, is that it goes from the middle out, which is ideal when stitching hats. All right, let me check the chat now. So here we go. Here, Patty says, story of my life. Nearly every time I do something, something goes wrong. That is real life. So that is what we show. Now, Linda had a good question. How did I turn the bobbin case? So when I was trying to get the thread out of the bobbin, some of it, when I pulled it, it wasn't moving. I went to the function that I press always when I start the machine, and that is to oil the hook on the bobbin, because when I press that, the bobbin turns so that it exposes the hook so that I can see it to oil it. So I went to that screen and pressed it. And so when that turned the bobbin, that let me get more of that thread out. And then it turned right back to where it was. So that's how I got the bobbin to move. And then when I forgot to put the needle plate on before it started stitching, but the hat was in a position where it was too hard to get on and off, I just went to my design and jumped ahead 100 stitches, and that particular spot, the hat was moved back enough. So then that allowed me to get the hat off the machine. Those little things like that you could play around with when things aren't working for you. All right, yeah, Terry says 400 stitches per minute, especially for structured. Thank you, Terry. Kathy brings up a good point. It seems like stitching middle out would be great for shirts too. I would say if you're doing a very dense design, then yes, stitching out from the middle out would probably be helpful. But sometimes it's actually better the opposite if you want to go like, because as it's stitching in out, it could be gathering your fabric. I see this a lot when people show me a filled stitch design and they stitch it, and then the last step of the design is like a black outline. And when they go to that last step and they stitch it, the outline looks offset. Like it looks like your hoop got bumped or something went wrong and it just doesn't line up with the design. It looks like it's a smidge over. That is because you don't have it stabilized well enough, because the design is so dense. It's gathering the fabric as it's stitching. So sometimes it might make, I don't know, I haven't played around with it, but maybe it would make more sense to stitch out going in with dense designs like that on shirts or fabric. All right. Okay, so Linda asks a good question. Do you need design specifically for hats? I'm going to say depends and no. I have stitched a bunch of stuff on soft hats that were not made for hats. They stitched from one side to the other. They didn't go middle out. I didn't have any trouble. Now, this is the first time I've stitched on a hat with a little bit of structure. So maybe with structured hats, it is more important. I haven't tested it out myself yet to know. I know Terry stitches a lot of hats, but I think she got a design specifically digitized by someone made it for her. And I don't know if she told them, hey, I'm stitching this on a hat. So when they made it, they might have made it go from in going out, middle going out. All right. I got this one yellow. So this is the part where I found like it starts to bubble a little bit. So now it's doing the R in hair. And I'm just using my little stiletto to make sure I don't have like a bubble wrinkle happen right there. Here we go. Richardson hats are super popular, but horrible to stitch out. They need to be steamed to soften. Oh, I didn't know that. Let's play with that. But yeah, I've heard Richardson is the most liked hat. Okay, here we go. Sharon has a good question. If you do have your own digitizing software, can you change a regular design to stitch more like a hat and go from the center out? It will only work if you digitize the design. So I can't buy a design and change it, with exceptions. So I probably could figure it out if it's mostly lettering. And say, you know, I bought boat hair and it stitches B to the T. What I could do is use Embroidered Essentials to create stops after each letter and change the color. So now my computer and my machine thinks these are separate elements. They're not all stitched out in the same color. And then I could rearrange the order. So if I bought a design that said boat and it's stitched all out in one color, I can use Embroidered Essentials to create stops for each letter. So each letter is now a different color. and then switch the order and go from T, depending on where it falls on the hat. If it went straight around the hat and you had the O and the A is more in the middle, I could tell it, okay, stitch the O first, then stitch the A, then stitch the T, then stitch the B. That you can do with Embroidery Essentials. If it's a design you made yourself and you made it for a shirt, but now you want to go and change it to a hat, with digitizing software, you can change the start, stop sites. So this is the part where your needle enters when it starts stitching. And this is the spot in the design where your needle stops and finishes stitching. You change those, and that will help a lot with changing a design to now be more compatible for a hat. Does that make sense? Okay, Sandy asks, can I go over what the little black rubber piece was for? Yes. So I have this hat hooping station. You can't see it in this camera, but it looks like this. I clipped it on my my craft table, my stand, whatever you have. This can go here or here to protect your table from getting scuffed from the hooping station. Okay, that's where that can help you. If you get a brother stand, you actually get, I didn't install it on this one. I have it on my Persona stand. They have like this silver piece. They have the screws right here where it goes, but they have this silver piece that comes out, and it's just like a little metal box poking out, and the hat hooping station fits perfectly on that little metal box. So if you have a brother or a baby lock multi-needle stand, you'll have that, and that's what it's for. It's for the hooping station to go and clamp onto that perfectly, so then you're not clamping it onto the stand itself or your craft table. Yes, so Sandy has that stand. So yeah, like I said, I have it on the Persona. Okay, so now it's stitching the end of care. I'm just, oh no, it's stitching the end of don't. I got that going. The bright pink. Right. So now it's going to stitch that out backwards from the T going back to the D. And I think it's when I switch to the other side, I got to watch that bubble. So yeah, maybe like Terry said, steaming it, that would help with this bubble wrinkling situation. Okay, so in case anyone missed it, you can go and get this design from Bella Bleu Embroidery and use the code SIPSTITCH. No and symbol in between. Computer doesn't like that. And you will get 40% off this design. But then she has a ton of other really cute designs. You can use coupon code SS2, and that is going to give you 20% off all of her other designs. There are a few exceptions, though. So if it doesn't work in the cart, that's because that's a bundle or a dollar deal, something like that. Those don't count. So in case you missed it. And then also, y'all know the Sip and Stitch homepage, which I think I have a thing for. There we go. The Sip and Stitch homepage. Oh, now look, that's scrolling at the bottom. That's cute. That is my website, carlybell.com/sip and stitch, or they have something in the menu bar if you just go to carlybell.com. And the homepage is going to tell you all the details about this project. So it's going to have a link directly to this design, a link to Bella Blue's shop, a link to the tearaway stabilizer, a link to the cap driver, this particular machine I'm using, which is the PR 680W. It's the newest 6 needle from Brother. It's amazing. My scissors, my tweezers, all my little knickknack things. All of that is going to be linked on the Sip and Stitch homepage. And if you are interested in upgrading, if you got a flatbed machine and you're ready to invest in a multi-needle and the cap driver, call my friend Jean at Sewing Machines Plus. She is my salesperson that specifically helps out all of my people, all of you guys. So she has my coupon, my discount. She's going to help you get the best deal. They have 0% financing. They have free shipping. So call her. You can also email her, Jean at sewingmachinesplus.com. If she doesn't answer the phone, leave her a message or email her, and she will call you back and help you out with whatever you need. All right. So, hi, Simone. Okay. So now it's stitching the D. And this is the part I want to watch when it switches back over to care. So, any other questions while this is, let's see. Wendy's like, I really want the new brother machine, but I need to win the lottery. I know how you feel. They had like the mega, I don't know, I think that's like in all the United States, but they had the Mega Millions and it hit $1 billion. Like, we don't normally, oh, sorry, my camera blinks. We don't normally go and buy lottery tickets very often, but when it hits $1 billion, oh, nope. Needle broke. Yay, another thing for y'all to see. Needle broke. It went right in the seam and it broke off the tip there. All right, so we need to fix that. And it is easy to do. I have what I need. So let's see. In your toolkit with your machine, you're going to get this little Allen wrench, and this is like a needle holder. And then I have needles. So I have a 7511 on there. Maybe with the more structured hats, we should be using 90 or 8012 or 9014s. Okay. Okay. All right, so I took out the broken needle. Now I got my new needle. And I use a little needle holder to take it and push it up. And you got to make sure the flat back is going in. There we go. And once it's pushed all the way to the top, now I'm going to tighten this back. Okay, new needle. And we have to rethread. Oh, broken needle is stuck to my tweezers. Okay. I'm just putting this behind. They have a little needle bar here right at the top. That. Needle 2. Okay. That is threaded. All right, now I'm going to back up. Okay, I'm making it to where it's the first stitch of this spot. Let me make it nice and flat so that it can go. My fingers are far away, I promise. Okay. So now it's happy. I'm going to pause it because they have a tail from me having it too long to begin with. All right, but now this is where my bubble situation starts happening. All right, now it's back in action. Okay. No, Sharon has a good. So she asked me if I tried using the new flat brim cap frame. No, I haven't, but I really want to get it. I would really like to see. So what she's talking about, this is the traditional Brother, I think it's PRF 3 is the model number, cap driver. They came out with a newer cap driver that is called the flat brim cap, and it supposedly gets closer to the design, closer to the brim of the hat. So like what I've experienced with this cap driver is I can get like 1.25 inches. I can get from the bottom of the design to the seam where the brim of the hat starts. I'd like to see how much closer I can get with the flat brim one. Okay. Linda asked about the little black piece I put over the needle plate. It came in, I think it came in the toolbox with the machine. I've always used it with hats. I don't know if it would be detrimental to not have it with a hat. I don't know the answer to that question. But I'm sure it's something you can order. You could probably even just call Sewing Machines Plus and say, hey, I lost this. Can y'all send me another one? Y'all see where this bubble is starting to happen? Let's see. Ooh, Terry said, I think the flat brim could get you 1/2 inch to 3/4. So that's a nice difference. All right, so we have one more letter and then the anchor, and we're done. There we go. All right. Yeah, the bubble, that's exactly what happened, Krista. The bubble flattened itself out. I just get paranoid the whole time it's there. So Sue said, from her understanding, the driver I'm using now can go really wide on the hat, and the flat brim one cannot go as wide. So I'll have to look and see the specs on it to see what the difference is in the embroidery field. All right, now it's going to do the anchor, and then we're done. So I did the anchor on this hat in a silver metallic thread. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's a silver metallic thread. I haven't really played with metallic thread much at all, but as far as much hiccups that I hear people have with it, with thread breaks and just not being happy, I had no trouble whatsoever. I used a Brother metallic thread. It came in like a little spool, looks just like sewing thread. And I loaded it as I loaded all my other threads on this machine, and it stitched out perfectly fine. So have to play with my metallic threads some more. I've been wanting to get a set of King Star metallic threads. I heard those are the best, but I haven't bought any yet. Trisha, I think we were talking about the hard plastic black piece, not the soft rubber one. And I saw someone mention something about the rubber one might also be used in the driver. I want to say I might have seen that in the past too, but I don't remember. I just leave it on the side, but I want to say I saw that it was to protect with the hooping station, but it might also play a role in something to do with the driver itself. All right, almost done. Haven't drank any of my coffee yet this morning. Let's see. I need to do another sip and stitch where we just sit and talk because I have so much fun stuff to show y'all. I got all my stuff from the applique getaway that I bought, all my goodies from that vendor show. I got goodies from the quilt shop I went to in San Antonio. It's called Stitched and Schmetz, I think. I know I'm saying it wrong, so I don't want to say it because I'm probably saying it wrong. I also got some really cute stuff from Kelly, the embroidery nurse. Remember the last sip and stitch we did? We did those cute swim bags. I got a whole bunch of other cute stuff from her shop I bought for my girls to monogram and add names to. Yeah, Trisha says she thinks S&P has the best price for metallic thread. Yes, they do. They do. And then you could use my coupon on top of that. Brenda says the King Star thread, you could run it at a higher speed. Nice. Okay, here we go. Terry says the rubber is also used to set the driver. I want to say I saw that somewhere in the manual too, but I never had to calibrate it or anything like that. All right, almost done. Last little piece here. This is cute. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the yellow for the anchor, but I do like it. All right, so Linda asked the best place to buy hats. We got a recommendation from Terry was SS Activewear. I have purchased hats from Walmart, just a little soft, unstructured women's hats. And these are from Amazon, which I think are okay, but my husband doesn't like them, but he's a hat snob. I'm going to wear them. All right. Okay, all done. Okay, so now we can remove this and turn it and pull it off. So this is our hat. And now let's switch here. Oh, this is the binder. I never did show y'all. I'll show you after. For the design organizer. Okay, so you have this. You can take this off, undo the little binder clips. This is the part I think of as like a sugar jar or spice jar. You just flip it and see when I was putting it on, I had to do this. So this is it coming off and it goes around the ring. All right, and so we're left with our hat with the tearaway stabilizer. And we're just going to pull that out. I am not one that is picky about getting all of the stabilizer out, but I'm going to pull out whatever's easy. So if it's poking up and it's a big old piece and it's easy, I get it. But like that little bit left in there, I'm not worried about that. And now I'm going to put the sweatband back like it was. And this one I don't have is big, but here we go. We got to put the curve back on it. So now we have boat hair, don't care. So same design, 2 different color hats, 2 different colors to put on it. I like the way this hat fits better. I think this one's a little bit tighter. That's why. But you can see what the finished hat looks like. It's really cute. Love the design. She has another boat hair, don't care design. That's a little bit different. I think it has like 3 anchors on it. That's super cute. But I know I ran through troubles, which I'm sure you are going to run through troubles too. But the thing is, I want you to go through this process. And even if you have the machine and you have the cap driver already at home, pull it out and play with it. You can rewatch this video whenever you want, and you can pause it and see the spots where, okay, this is where the screw goes. This is where this screw goes. This is how the cap ring goes on the hat. Go through the process, even if it's intimidating or tedious the first time. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And then you'll probably also be like me, where you'll get all these little hiccups that happen when you're trying to do it, especially when you're trying to show other people, because that's when it happens the most. But fun project. I really like this design, and I'm excited about wearing it on my husband's boat that he finally finished. He just needs to take me for a ride and go catch some fish. But that is our project for today. So you saw how to stitch out the hat on a free arm machine with the cap driver. Once you do it, there's so many cute hat designs out there that you can make. And what's really fun is you can start making your own custom hat design. So if you have digitizing software like Stitch Artist, you can make your own. Or if you have something in mind, you can pay someone to digitize it for you. And when you do that, tell them, hey, I want to get this design digitized and I'm planning on stitching it on a hat. So you can even ask them, can you make me one to like put on a shirt? You know, this particular size, this dimensions, give them dimensions, this size, but I also want that same design in these dimensions to stitch on a hat. So then they'll give you 2 different files. So one for the hat, one for the shirt, and then whatever else, you know, multiple sizes, all those kinds of things. Make sure when you tell them the dimensions for the hat, it is not too big for your embroidery field on your machine, right? No more than, I think, 2.4 or 2.5 inches tall, okay? So things to keep in mind when you are getting things digitized, and especially if you want to get it put on a hat. All right. Okay, yay. I'm glad to be back too. Okay, great. Oh, Maggie says, please show us the organizing book. Okay, let me show you. I'm very excited about it. Okay, so as I told you at the beginning of the show, if you missed it, I came out with something new. It's called, and it's something that helps solve a problem for me, and I think probably a lot of y'all out there will be helpful for. And it's the Embroidery Design Organizer. And it comes with several things. A file folder organization system for your computer, okay, to like house all of your files. And then I have a printable set of PDF files so that you can make yourself a binder. And then there's a digital database part that's all done on the computer. So whether you're a pen and paper person or more tech savvy digital person, you have lots of options for you on what works best for you for organizing your files. When I first started out, I had a binder, and I would print the designs that I bought. So here is an example of some design like this. So you can print out, like after when you buy a design, I would take a screenshot of what it was and I would print it. So you have some options. You can fill it out on your computer before you print it. So you put like where you bought it from, what's the name of the design, what sizes does it come in, the type, like I put in the hoop, a category. So where did I save it on my computer? A link to the design, the website, if I need to go back to it. When I bought this design, what did I have in mind that I was like, ooh, I want to make this, this, and this with it? You have the project idea section to write that down. And then you can either print out the picture ahead of time, before you even print out your paper, or you just print out blank pages, like here, print out a whole bunch of blank pages. And then when you buy designs, you print them, tape them on there, and then fill all this out by hand. Okay, so the printable comes with your cover sheet. They have the design collection pages. I have two different ones. This one has a little bit different. This one has number of stitches and number of steps if that it is important for that design. If you don't care about those things, then this page has design type and category if that's more relevant, depending on the design you're using. So you have two different options of design collection pages. Then you have a font collection page. So the font, did it come in BX? Is it like a scripty font? Is it a sketch font? A script like serif, all that type. And then you could do the stitch type. Is it a bean? Is it a sketch? Is it an applique? They have all those options. Did it come with any numbers or punctuations? This I find is really helpful when you're going for certain projects. You might need to add a question mark, or you might need to add an accent above a letter. Not all fonts come with those things. So I like to have a little spot to write it. If it came with it, when I'm searching for something, I can be like, oh, this font has a question mark, and I can do that. And then I can print out my thing and any notes. You can put the date when you purchased it. So those are your main like catalog pages. Now you can print out as many of these as you want, and then just get you some binder tabs. And so if you want to have all of your Christmas designs in one little tab, and then you can have all of your birthday designs in one tab. You can have all your fonts in one tab, and so on and so forth. So you make your categories or how you want to separate them by the tabs, however you want. So completely, customizable to work for you. Then on top of that stuff, I made a whole bunch of other pages because I just love these kinds of things. So this is kind of like a password collector. Now you don't have to write your password. I know some people are very particular about that, but you can write the shop, what's the website, what's your username, and then maybe give yourself a hint of what your password is. Something like that. So you can keep track of all those places you shop at and you forget, oh, what email did I use for that? A thread chart. So if you like to keep track of what brand threads you have and what the number is, because like on some of my threads, the sticker is falling off, and I can go right on there on a marker, but I can also keep track of what numbers I have in here. Where did I buy it from? So when I need to go and buy more. Shopping lists, lots of lists. A wish list, to-do list, bucket list. Like these are projects that I want to do, but I don't have time for right now. I will go and write that down and any notes about it. And then if I do actually get it done, I got a place to put a check mark. If you really want to keep track of how much money you're spending, I don't always recommend it, but it's there if you need it, an expense tracker. Supply inventory. If you're keeping lots of blanks, you can keep track. And then planning pages. We got weekly plan, monthly plan, yearly plan, important dates. You can write birthdays, anniversaries, a gift tracker when you're making things, and then a notes page. So that is all the printables. And then you can go like I said, and make yourself a binder with it. So that is the paper portion of the organizing system. And then there's also digital stuff, which I could show you if you want to. And then with everything, there are video tutorials on how to use all of those things, because I know some of the things I'm using might not be stuff that you used before. So you want to know how to go about using them. I go over embroidery files in general, buying them, unzipping them, best places to store them and back them up, all those kinds of things. Do you really need to keep all of the formats that they give you? So we go over all of that in the video tutorials that come with the embroidery design organizer. All right, yay. All right, I saw something about Kimberbell. What did Kimberbell have? Yes, so Kathy said she would love to see a background quilting designs as a category as well, especially for Kimberbell stuff. So yeah, so you can make you a whole tab filled with all your Kimberbell background quiltings, and then you could have a tab for all your Kimberbell quilts, your other projects. Like, you can customize it however you want. Yay, Patty says she's printed some out over the years, but not all. So, and I had some comments about this when I was at the Applique Getaway. So I have a million designs, like not a million, but I have thousands of designs. Is it going to be feasible for me to print all those out? No. But what I can do is I'm making it a habit now. As I'm buying designs, I'm putting them in my binder, or I'm putting them in my digital database. And when I have time, I go and catch up on the things I already have. And if it gets to a point where your binder gets too big, you can have binders for categories instead of tabs. You can also print front and back on your pages. And if you have better eyesight than me, you can print to a page, something like that. You turn it horizontally and print two of the design things to a page. So those are some options for you. If anything is overwhelming, it's a process. We're going through all of our stuff and just trying to get it to where it's so much easier to find and know everything we have. Because I mean, how many of us have bought embroidery designs and they're like, oh, I'm going to do all this stuff with it, and then totally forgot they had it. And once they are trying to stitch another project, they can't find the design for it, and then they run over the one. They see the one that they totally forgot about. Oh, I forgot all about that. I buy so much stuff that I don't make. I need to. So I'm hoping this will also keep me more of like accountable for like, oh, I have all this stuff. I need to make things with these designs. So, yay. Yeah, there you go. Terry said, so this is a fantastic way to keep customer logo thread colors. Yes. So the project planner page, I don't think I showed you that one. Where's it at? I don't see. Did I take it? I have a project planner page. I don't know where it is, but I have one. Here it is. This is very helpful. Look at this. So when I make something for someone, so like for Terry, for instance, for her customers, I can write where I bought the design, what size, what stabilizer did I use for the project, what fonts did I use, what thread colors, if I used a blank, which one did I use, where did I get it from, notes, and then you could put a picture of it. So this is a great way to keep track of things that you are in the process of making or have already made, so you can reference back to it if you need to make it again. So that is something else that's fun. All right. Okay, I am scrolling through the comments. All right, yeah, everybody's raising their hands. Me. I bought things that I have not made. Yes, so that is the goal with this, is to help us all get more organized, not feel so overwhelmed by, I call it digital clutter. Like, our computers can get very because there's no physical stuff, right? Like here in my craft room, I have my fabric. I have it on this cubby shelf back here. That is all of my fabric. Now, am I still going to buy more fabric? Probably, but I also keep in mind that where am I going to put it if I get it, right? We start going up the wall. But with most of our supplies, they're consumable, right? We're using them, and then when we run out, we buy more. And then we buy lots of things that we probably don't need. But I have a fixed amount of space that I could keep things in. When we go to digital, your computer has so much storage, but storage is out the wazoo now. Like you can save, all kinds, the whole human genome we could put on the computer now. But you can keep adding to it without realizing how much you're building up. And so then you get to the point to where you're overwhelmed. You got things in your downloads folder. You got things you might have put in an embroidery folder, but there's like just an embroidery folder and then everything is there and things are named weird and you don't know what is what. And we have Embroidered's thumbnailer, which is great, but that only shows us the picture after you've opened up the folder and now they have file icons. But the folder doesn't show you a preview. So you just got a whole bunch of folder things going everywhere. So that was my goal with trying to make that whole system better. All right. Yay. Okay. So Mina asks, how much is the organizer? Sorry, my camera likes to blink. So the organizer is on sale right now for $17. So that's going to be my intro specialty price, and I'm going to have that good through next Friday. And then every once in a while I might put it on sale, but the price is going to go up. But it's going to be $17 now through next Friday, August, I think 25th. My husband's birthday's next weekend. He's turning 40, so he's going to be old like me. So yeah, so $17 until next Friday. All right, yay. Awesome. Krista says she lucked out and got a computer from her library, and she uses it only for embroidery. So there you go. Nice. Okay, so yay. So thank you. Okay, so any more questions about the hat we made today, stitching the hat, or the embroidery organizer, any of that stuff, let me know. While I'm waiting for y'all to ask these questions, I got to show you this. How cute. Now, this is my test. Elise took the real one and put it on her school bag already. But this is our project for my VIP Sip and Stitch Squad members. We do a private Zoom class every month if you're a VIP member. And this is what we're going to be making in our class on Tuesday, August 22nd. And they also get a free design from me every month. And this is their free design. And then we're going to do a Zoom class on how to stitch it. But this is an in the hoop pencil snap tab bag tag. This was my test, so I never put the snap in it, but it goes like this and has a snap and then a key ring on it. So Elise has the better looking one on her school bag right now. So if you're a member of the VIP Sip and Stitch Squad, check our private Facebook group and the member portal for the Zoom link for Tuesday. If you can't make it, you always get the replay to watch. If you're not already a VIP member, I think I have a link down below so that you can join, and then you can join us on Tuesday for our Zoom class and go get this done. I wanted to show you that. Can I post the link in the comments for the organizer? Yes, ma'am. Copy. There we go. Let me know if that works. That's a good idea. I probably should have did that from the get-go. All right. Yay, Kim, come with us for the Zoom class. It's going to be fun. All right. Yeah, Patty said grandkids. Yeah, Elise was so excited. Now, my daughter is very hit or miss when I make her things. Most of the time, she's like, I don't like that. She's very particular. I can make her something, and then she's like, I don't like the color. I wish she would have did this color instead or something. Y'all, if y'all have been watching me a while, y'all know Elise. Well, when I showed her this, she loved it right off the bat. Loved it. She's like, thank you, Mom. I'm like, Finally, it only took, like 5 years for you to start liking what I make you. So, but yeah, I'm excited to show y'all this on Tuesday for the VIP members. Other than that, what do we have? Lots of fun things coming up. Now, I put in the email newsletter, we're going to slow down sip and stitch for the rest of the year. My plate is full of things that I need to do. So we are going to, until after Christmas, we're going to do one sip and stitch a month. And it's always going to be the third Friday of the month. And in the email newsletter, I put the date, so you'll know ahead of time when we're having it. Again, you can always go and watch replays of all the 70 something that I've done before, so that you can have something if you were looking forward to a Friday that you had off to watch something. But we're going to slow sip and stitch down. So our next one, let me look at a calendar so I can tell you. So 1, 2, 3 is September 15th. That is going to be our next sip and stitch. And because I am me, I have not figured out what the project is going to be yet. But as soon as I know what it is, I will tell all of you and email you and post in the Facebook group. So that's going on. I'm going to be participating in a summit. It's kind of the first time I've done this, but not really, because the virtual applique getaway is kind of like that. But it's all online, and it's a bunch of creative people getting together and teaching. And so it really steps broad. So we have sewing, quilting, pattern making, like how to actually create your own patterns for clothing or, whatever. Sublimation. I'll be teaching some embroidery. There's really like a whole plethora of different people. That is called the Pattern Design Create Summit. I think it's happening in September or October. So I'm working on my class for that now. I'm going to be participating in the virtual applique getaway, which is a lot of embroidery with touches of sublimation and laser and digitizing and all kinds of fun stuff in there. That is going to be in October this year. Normally it was in November previously, but this year is going to be in October. So as soon as we have links for registration for those things, I will send those out. I want to say the Design Create one is free, and the virtual applique getaway is like $25. So those are coming up. We're going to have our third annual Sip and Stitch holiday workshop in November. So that's going to be a week-long fun live classes of a bunch of holiday Christmassy projects that we're going to make. That's going to be in November. And then fingers crossed, in December, I will have my Embrilliance course ready for all of you. So that's going to be a really deep dive into all the basics of embrilliance, kind of like I did my beginner machine embroidery course, where really have everything nicely laid out for you. That's what I'm planning now with the embrilliance course. And I know a lot of y'all have asked for that. When I had the From Start to Stitch course, they're like, are you going to make an embrilliance course? Yes, I'm working on it. It takes me a long time to make things. So that is the goal for December. So once all of those things are off my plate, come January and things slow down, then we can possibly go back to doing sip and stitch every other week like we have been doing. So that is all of my announcements. Thank you for sticking with me this long. I don't see any more questions. I know we need it. Terry says, I like sip and stitch with the adult beverages. Coffee is not as fun. I keep saying I'm going to do this, but let me see. What's on the 15th? The 15th. I don't see anything on my calendar. I'm going to see if I can talk my husband into letting me him watching the kids, and we'll do a nighttime one. But Elise is still going to come barging in the room, so just be prepared for that. But maybe we can do it as a nighttime one. So for these next few that we do for the rest of the year, maybe we could go back to nighttime. We'll see. All right. Yay. Simone's like, heck yeah, I want the Embroidered course. Yay. Awesome. Okay, so thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun watching us make the hat and all my little problems that happened along the way so that you can see how to correct those when they happen to you at home. And I hope you like the embroidery design organizer. The link is here and in the comments and in the description box. It's going to be on sale until next Friday. After that, the price is going to go up. But if you get it, let me know. Let me know how you like it. I can always add things to it if anything is not clear, but I have a whole bunch of video tutorials that come with it when you get it. So thanks again. I hope y'all have a great rest of your Friday and weekend, and I will see y'all September 15th, maybe at nighttime. I will let you know. All right, bye guys.